What if I told you there's a place on Earth so alien, so extreme, that for 6 months the sun simply disappears, a place where the ocean itself is covered in a frozen blanket that has been there for over 10 million years? Welcome back to World with Ada. Today, we're traveling to the top of the world, the Arctic Ocean. It's the smallest ocean on the planet, but don't let that fool you. This frozen world controls the climate of the entire Earth, and right now, it is vanishing before our eyes. It's not just a place. It is Earth's air conditioner. And someone just turned up the thermostat. So, just how small is this ocean? At about 14 million square kilometers, the Arctic Ocean is roughly 1.5 times the size of the United States. That makes it the smallest of the 5 major ocean basins. But here's the thing, it's almost completely surrounded by land. We're talking Russia, Norway, Canada, Alaska, and Greenland. This is like a massive, frozen lake at the top of the world. It connects to the Pacific only through the narrow Bering Strait, which is why the waters here behave so differently. Now, here's what blew my mind. We used to think the Arctic Ocean was just one giant, flat basin. But actually, underneath that ice, there's a mountain range. Scientists discovered the Lomonosov Ridge in the 1950s, an underwater mountain chain stretching 1,100 miles, diving 10,000 feet deep. It splits the ocean into 2 major basins, the Eurasia Basin and the Amurasia Basin. And get this, 1/3 of the entire Arctic Ocean is continental shelf. That's the highest percentage of any ocean on Earth. It's basically a giant, shallow bathtub compared to the deep trenches of the Pacific. Now, let's talk about the ice, because this is where the Arctic goes from interesting to terrifying. That ice you see on the surface, it's not just a thin layer. The average thickness is about 3 meters, but pressure ridges can push that to 9 meters thick. And it moves. The ice doesn't just sit there. It drifts in a massive clockwise pattern called the Beaufort Gyral Stream. Or, it travels in a nearly straight line from the Siberian islands all the way to Greenland. Sometimes, islands of ice break off from Ellesmere Island or calve off from Greenland. And we're not talking small chunks, we're talking massive icebergs that can terrorize shipping lanes. But here's the part that should keep you up at night. The ice cover doubles in size during the winter and shrinks in the summer. But over the past few decades, that summer minimum has been shrinking dramatically. This is called the albedo effect. The white ice reflects sunlight back into space, keeping the planet cool. But when it melts, it reveals dark ocean water that absorbs heat. That melts more ice. It's a vicious cycle. Scientists warn that within a few decades, the Arctic could be almost completely ice-free during the summer. And the consequences: global weather disruption, rising sea levels, and the loss of an ecosystem that has existed for millions of years. You'd think with all that ice, there'd be nothing alive up here, right? Wrong. Underneath the ice, there are these incredible tunnels called brine channels. They're filled with bacteria and algae. These feed flatworms, which feed bigger animals. When the ice melts in the summer, it releases a massive burst of nutrients. The algae bloom underneath the ice, it's like a spring festival for the entire Arctic food chain. The zooplankton eat the algae. The fish eat the zooplankton. The seals eat the fish. And then, of course, we have the celebrities of the Arctic, the polar bear. They hunt seals on the ice. And here's the sad truth: as the ice disappears, the polar bears are literally running out of ground to stand on. But there are also the unicorns of the sea, the narwhals. And the white whales, the belugas, who navigate these icy waters using echolocation. Even the birds are insane up here. Take the Brunicus guillemot. These little seabirds can dive over 650 feet deep. That's deeper than any other flying bird. And here's a crazy story, these birds nest on cliffs with colonies of over 100,000. When the chicks are just 3 weeks old, they can't even fly. But they have to jump off the cliff sometimes from hundreds of feet to reach the water. If they miss the water by just a few feet, they hit the rocks. And the Arctic foxes are waiting below for dinner. So, we've established that climate change is the big threat. But the Arctic is also getting hit by something else, pollution. Because of the way winds and ocean currents work, pollutants from Europe, Asia, and North America travel directly to the Arctic. We're talking heavy metals, pesticides, and persistent organic pollutants. Here's the heartbreaking part. Indigenous communities, like the Inuit, rely heavily on marine mammals for food. But those animals are at the top of the food chain. They concentrate all those toxins in their blubber. Studies have found that some Inuit women have levels of pollutants in their breast milk that are significantly higher than populations living far to the south. And then there's the economic threat. As the ice melts, the Arctic is opening up for shipping. The Northwest Passage and the Northern Sea Route, once impenetrable, are becoming viable shipping lanes. Oil and gas exploration is ramping up. The Arctic is becoming a geopolitical battleground. But here's the irony, the more we exploit the Arctic, the faster we destroy it. The Arctic Ocean may be the smallest ocean, but its importance is immeasurable. It regulates our climate. It hosts some of the most resilient life on Earth. And it's sending us a warning. When the ice melts, it's not just polar bears that suffer. It's all of us. Because if the Arctic goes, the climate of the entire planet goes with it. We have a choice. We can watch it disappear, or we can do something about it. If you found this interesting, hit that like button, subscribe to World with Ada, and let's keep exploring the wonders of our planet before they're gone. This has been Ada. Stay curious, stay passionate, and remember, the world is a fragile, beautiful place.